Should we talk about Kansas City?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Casinos
before we get to Sunday.
Barbecue.
Yeah, let's talk about Kansas City.
Us three were in Kansas City along with a couple other friends. Nice little road trip. Kind of had me and TJ kind of threw around the idea of going to Kansas City, and it ended up turning into, three other guys coming with, Jason being one of them, and it ended up being a lot of fun. I mean, it was a road trip. We rented a vehicle. It's a piece of shit van, but it was all right. It got us there and got us back.
It was comfy.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate vans. It's like station wagons. I don't like them
We
either.
had room, though. That was nice.
We had so many people to impress.
Yeah, that's true. I got my image to uphold here.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Can't be showing up in a soccer mom vehicle.
Well, we did.
Yeah,
I
know. It was fun, too. It was fun. Stopped at Diamond Joe's on the way down. Made a sports bet.
Just
nice.
Took everything from him.
Yep. We came back rich.
Well, no, we went to Kansas City rich and lost all our money.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Diamond Joe's did treat us pretty well on our way down there. That was fun.
That buffet is ass, though.
That buffet was the worst. You guys need to change up your buffet.
Don't go to Diamond Joe's hungry.
Right.
If you do go to
get pissed
is it
off.
Burger King that's in there, go there.
Yeah, get Burger King.
That shit tastes like fallen asbestos off the ceiling on the floor that you sweep up with a dustpan and just like sprinkle it on there like salt.
First time in my life I've had a shitty waffle. Like, I don't even know how you do that. I didn't know that was like possible.
Dude, my pancake I could have thrown on the ground, it would have cracked apart.
Dude, that pancake was like a fucking manhole.
I tried stabbing it with my fork and it
Dude,
didn't
hard
work.
as hell, dude. It was like you could dribble a basketball on that bitch.
Oh man, yeah, their buffet is zor shit.
Dude, I got an omelet, which was gonna be okay until the person I saw making it looked like something from The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh my god.
Dude, it was terrible. And she was... Never mind. I'll cut it out.
Yeah, don't get too mean.
I'm not even going to say that, dude. But we did go back after we ate and won some more money, didn't we?
Yeah,
On
that blackjack machine.
We need to go back there and just talk to that blackjack machine. Black Mac.
Machine.
That's a new sandwich at McDonald's during Halloween. So, yeah, blackjack machine. It was
that realistic avatar.
Yeah, dude, she was fine. Fine ass avatar.
Cards were coming
She had
out
a mole like right here on her left breast.
Did you see?
And then they changed outfits on her.
Dude, did you see? I pointed out to TJ that she didn't like hand out the cards. They came out from right in between her tits. They were like,
and we kept winning money. I'm like, this is great.
It's like we're throwing. Man, I was like, I'm gonna bet my last 50. Then all of a sudden it's like double down. I'm like, God damn it! I'm like,
Did you
of course.
double?
Oh yeah. Oh
And you
yeah.
won?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just
You
clean
doubled
it
down
up.
on 50?
Oh yeah.
That takes some balls, bro.
Well, no, I wasn't like down to my last bet, but
know,
I like.
I'm just saying, that's a big bet.
You know, I had $250 in there or something, and I was like, I'm gonna get
There's
down
a
to 200.
reason they call it high stakes for people that go in there and bet $100 a hand.
Yeah,
You bet $100 a hand.
I usually play the $2 table.
Well, you bet $100 there, so that's pretty tight. That takes some balls. So then after Diamond Joe's, though, we made a couple stops on the way down there. Got to the hotel. We stayed at the Radisson in Overland Park.
Yeah, Lenexa, Kansas.
Yep. So checked in, and then we went to get some barbecue. And our first stop was where?
We went to Kansas City Joe's, which formerly used to be called Oklahoma Joe's. It's a barbecue joint that's inside of a gas station, basically. I've had it before. It's phenomenal. But we pulled into the parking lot, and the line was wrapped around the gas station. Yeah. So we couldn't go there. I was a little disappointed because that's really good stuff. They had traffic cops in the parking lot. Like,
I thought it was like a Beyonce concert or something.
And then we went from there. We started kind of driving around. We saw Rosedale. And we were like, well, let's try to go to this other place first. And then
Slaps?
Yeah. So we went to Slaps, and the dude comes walking out like, we're all out of food. And we're like, you guys are still supposed to be open for 3 hours.
Slaps was out of meat.
Yeah, Slaps was out of meat.
Literally out of meat.
Yeah.
And it's because honestly, it's because Minnesota fans literally invaded Kansas City last weekend.
They did.
There was like 20,000 people at the stadium.
I
mean, we don't have to jump to that part yet, but the place was full of Minnesotans.
It was.
We went to the casino after the barbecue that night. Me and TJ were sitting in a bar in the casino. Everybody around the freaking TV around the bar was wearing purple jerseys. Everybody.
They skull chanted.
Yeah, they were skulling in Kansas City at the casino.
Well, at the Power and Lights district in downtown Kansas City, I mean, they were doing the skull chant and everything down there. I mean, just how far we stayed, probably 35 minutes away from the stadium, and the hotel we stayed at was packed with Vikings fans.
Yeah.
So I mean, that tells you how far we were out, and there was still a ton of Vikings fans there. It tells you how many showed up.
Man, that whole hotel was cool, but it's like they built like a nice hotel on the side of the freaking Camden Motel or something.
Yeah, it was like the inside, like where the pool was like nice, and then we were like tucked in like a hallway. I mean, the rooms were okay. We didn't need to stay in there very long.
Man, the rooms are old and shitty.
Yeah.
They weren't even okay.
Yeah, that's true. They get
my bar of soap when I got in the room wasn't in a package and it was broken in half.
So you got to bring your own.
I did. I actually did. God, there was a bunch of other crap that was wrong with that room. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the sliding glass door to the closet.
Yeah.
When you pulled it out, there was nothing holding the bottom. It wasn't in the tracks, and it just swung all the way open. There's the other stuff. Oh yeah, the shower curtain. The way they had it set up was you had to pull that thing completely tight, and if you didn't, all the water would roll into the bathroom because of how it was set up.
Yeah.
Dude, there was so much. It was a nice hotel, but our room wasn't nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's like I said, it was kind of because we were kind of tucked, like in a hallway that there was nothing else.
For a
like,
second, I thought
there.
we had one of those dope ass rooms.
I know, we were walking around
like the pool.
We were like,
oh,
hell yeah. We're like 741's got to be right here. Wait, it's not here.
You should have did that. I appreciate any free upgrades.
And I ain't got that magic like you do, Jason. You should have
It
checked
works
in
every
for me.
time,
I know, you should have checked in for me. You should.
People were nice though.
Yeah. Yeah, Kansas City's. I enjoy going to Kansas City. I've been there 3 times, twice for Twins games and then once for this. Never had any issues with, Kansas City, Missouri at all. It reminds me of Minnesota in a way, like a smaller Minneapolis.
Well, we weren't gonna have any issues this time for sure.
I mean, we had 4.5 big ass dudes.
Everybody's over 250.
We should shout out Rosedale Barbecue though. It was good.
That was
Rosedale.
funny.
It was good. It was good.
Go check them out. Staff was really nice too.
Yeah, that was the only place that had meat left. And
they were 4.2 stars. I was like, screw it, let's go there.
Yeah, and when I say they had meat left, the portions they were giving us, they probably had a lot of it back there.
Yeah.
They were definitely prepared.
They were. It was good.
It was good.
I'll make sure to cut that picture of James's plate into this part of the podcast so people can see it.
Yeah, just
cut that curly thing you see on top is sausage.
And then we're talking about a friend of ours that he basically ate a 5-pound plate of food and then picked off of other people's plates too.
Dude, and when they give you the food, they put a half a loaf of bread on top of it. They just take slices of bread and put a stack on top of your food.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was really good, and they treated us well there too. So,
shout out to them.
Faux show. And then we went to Harrah's.
That's where we saw all the fans at the bar.
Yeah,
and that's where I think James donated his winnings from Diamond Joe's back to Harrah's.
Well, if he didn't donate it there,
to build another casino in Vegas.
If he didn't donate it there, he donated it on the scratch offs on our way down there.
Dude, I'll tell you, compared to some of their casinos in Vegas, that place was a dump.
Yes.
I mean, you drive up, you go around the corner, and you see the Harrah's sign. Even that's all rusted apart and not even painted and falling apart.
Well, it's like they don't have to compete with anything. There's only like 5 casinos down there. It's not like Vegas where this casino has to compete with this casino, so they, make it bigger and better. And
I wanted to go to the club that night so bad. None of you guys wanted to go, man. I almost went up in there by myself.
I felt underdressed, man. Like
There was
I
no
hate
dress
going to
code.
clubs dressed like
I know.
regular as hell, but
I wanted to bring a collar shirt just in case to the trip, but I knew
wanted to
none
say
of you
one-
guys wanted to go.
I want to say one of the cool things about that casino to me that I noticed though was just like how many different people from different walks of life were all there, like
Yeah.
congregated together, like mingling.
Yep.
Like that's not something you see around here too much. So that kind of stood out to me, and I thought that was like a cool aspect of that city is just seeing like kind of different people from different walks of life, like coming together and having a good time.
A very
It was
eclectic group of people,
fun. Yeah, definitely.
like from all everywhere. It was pretty cool. Dude, when we went there on Sunday, so we went to the game. So that night we went to the casino.
Mm-hmm. That was Saturday night.
Came back. What did we do? So we didn't do nothing on the way back. We just went to bed, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We sat in the parking lot at Arrowhead Stadium for a few hours because the line of cars to get out of there was.
No, I'm talking about the
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah, no, we went back.
So then we got up Sunday morning, had some breakfast. The hotel breakfast was like 400 times better than freaking Diamond Joe's buffet.
Yeah, their pancakes were actually nice and soft and warm.
Right. They had an actual waffle machine that you can like make good waffles on.
Yep.
We went to the Arrowhead. Was it Rashad that was just trying to go where he wasn't supposed to go? Who's driving there?
Did it? Oh, yeah, Rashad did
It
drive.
was like ticket only. Or,
Yeah, it said e-tickets or whatever, e-parking tickets or whatever only.
And he was trying to pull over like the curb and shit, trying to like get past barriers. And
I was going on my phone trying to figure out how I was going to buy e-tickets over online so we could get in. But they ended up taking our money anyway.
Well,
so.
yeah, that line was long as hell, and then they put you in your own spot. So I think the way they organized it for parking was pretty good.
Yeah, they were definitely organized.
The tailgating is on a different level than Minnesota. Like, if you're a Minnesota fan and you've only been to Minnesota games, go to Kansas City to see what real tailgating looks like.
I think that's widely considered best in the NFL, though. Like, that's not just us. Like, they beat everybody. Like,
Do they?
yeah,
Well, I think Green Bay likes to,
yeah. Maybe they
Maybe
can
put
put
a-
on, but
people from Wisconsin say Green Bay is pretty good for tailgating. But that's still a neighborhood, and it's hard to park there, and it's still hard to get to the game where there you pull in, they give you your spot, and it's one big party.
Yeah.
And everybody's got tents out, and they're barbecuing, there's TVs set up. It's pretty cool. And the parking lot from overhead, when they show it on national TV, does not look as big as when you're there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that parking lot is freaking huge.
It is.
It is
It is.
huge. I took a picture of all the cars off in the distance, and it was just a sea of cars. Pretty sure our rental got hit.
Yeah, that's probably where the light
So in
broke,
terms of the
but-
Kansas City game, what was your takeaway from that, TJ?
well, I'm disappointed we lost. I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be a close game. I think one of the things that we talked about is people talk about the Vikings' road record and how it's disappointing. And from like my point of view, I think one of the things that people don't talk about a lot is how the Vikings play on turf. And when they go on the road, they have to play on grass. And I think there's like this mental hurdle that you have to get over where you just like subconsciously probably feel slower, like going off of turf onto grass. And the home team doesn't have that, mindset. So it's kind of a disadvantage. And then you flip that coin and like teams come in to play the Vikings and they go from being on grass to playing on the road on turf. They feel faster, so I feel like that's kind of like a thing that people don't talk about a lot. And I think it's a small thing, but when it comes to like two teams that are kind of like evenly matched, which I guess you could debate on whether the Vikings and Chiefs are evenly matched with Mahomes out.
We had Thielen out.
Right. But I just think that's one of the things that's like, it's kind of like an edge that you lack when you're going somewhere trying to beat a team that's, probably close to you talent-wise. it's already tough enough to win on the road, but then you add like that small element in there too. But I thought the Vikings played pretty well. I think the main thing that I came away with was just being very disappointed in that 90-yard touchdown run. Like, that just can't happen.
It's almost 2 people, and that's it.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know.
It's the one person that you're supposed to be able to rely on to make that play.
Who, Harrison?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Anthony Harris. I mean, he
just gets baked out of his shoes.
I mean,
like Tyreek Hill going off, like you can live with that because he does that to everybody.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, just letting. And wasn't it right after we punted and like stuck him inside the 10, right? Like,
yep.
That should be an advantage.
They
Almost
had like
an advantage.
a 6-yard gain or something.
That's like something you should be able to take advantage of. Like either, recouping your good field position if you make them punt, or, you try to like get a safety or something like that. But to give up a 90-yard touchdown is just like, oh man, it's a backbreaker almost.
Was it the
like
top?
It wasn't a backbreaker, but it's like, man, like just mentally,
We still should have won.
Yeah, like just like I don't know, momentum wise, it was kind of just like they had a lot of momentum at that
Wasn't
point.
that Kelsey going into the flat there on that play?
Coming in motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Waynes stuck with him, didn't he?
I thought Smith was following him.
But he didn't take him when the play started. It was somebody else.
Yeah, it might have been Hughes maybe.
There was it might have been Hughes,
Yeah.
actually. There was a miscommunication there of some sort because he didn't have to take him anymore.
Yeah.
And he was still leaning that way.
Yeah.
God, the run was right at him. And he looked like he was tied to a post. It looked like the running back just flew by him, dude.
I just remember not seeing that play because I believe I was up taking a bathroom break.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I mean, you gotta live and die with your best players, and he didn't make the play. And then Harris didn't do anybody any favors at all.
No, I mean, he's got to make that tackle. He definitely has to make that tackle. I don't know. Like, when you talk about Tyreek Hill and how he does beat people, I see him beating people more with like Patrick Mahomes as quarterback, though. You know what I'm saying? He's the perfect wide receiver for a Patrick Mahomes-led offense. Patrick Mahomes has a cannon arm. He can throw the ball 80 yards. Tyreek Hill can run by anybody. I don't think as Matt Moore as your quarterback that we should really be worrying about that much about Tyreek Hill.
He's not awful though.
No, Tyreek Hill.
That first throw to Ty Hill.
Moore, I'm saying like people.
That first throw to Ty Hill, good defense ain't stopping it.
Yeah.
That first throw.
Yeah,
the touchdown.
Yeah, good defense ain't stopping it.
Yeah, I think good defense might stop that if Trey Waynes wasn't beat.
Perfectly.
But if Trey Waynes isn't beat off the line and constantly, running at somebody to catch up.
Call then. You gotta like Trey Waynes up on the line like that and pressing is the call.
Trey Waynes has probably been our best cornerback this year.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot about his play so far this year, and I can see it a little bit, but he has played well. But just he's constantly getting beat off the line and having to make up ground with his speed, which he's a super fast cornerback. But you can't make up ground with Tyreek Hill running fly patterns or whatever. You're not going to make up that. And you can say Matt Moore is not a bad quarterback, which he's not, but he was just like out of football like earlier in the season. I mean, nobody really wanted him. Was he coaching high school football or something like that?
I don't know.
I forget what he was doing, but they kind of got him, from doing his own shit.
Are a mess, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean? They got Fitzmagic.
Does he look good right now?
He looks great, man. Did you see him against the Jets?
No. Can't say I did.
I never wasted my time watching that game.
I didn't see it either. But
I don't disagree with you, but that's not Wayne's call. It's not up to him to press and to be off. It's not him.
But
That's the defensive call.
But doesn't he factor into the fact that he's constantly having to make up ground by turning his back and running at somebody and catching up?
Because he can.
But against Tyreek Hill, you can't do that.
But that's not his fault. He was just doing what the coach told him to do.
So the coach was telling him to get beat off the line and make up speed by trying to catch him up.
The coach didn't think he was going to get beat off the line.
It's Tyreek Hill.
Dude, they had a safety over the top who couldn't even get there. That's how good the throw was.
So,
Did you watch the play?
I watched the play.
Couldn't even get there.
Yeah, Harrison Smith played shitty that game.
But yeah, I mean, they had a safety over. I think it was just a single high safety though, and that was the problem. I don't remember.
I mean, it's more than just Wayne's getting beat off the line. Our defense didn't play great.
Yeah, you got to get to the quarterback too.
Well, we did sack him 5 times, but that was all in like the late third, fourth quarter
when they decided to start blitzing.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. I know what you're saying about Wayne's, but that's actually an asset as a football player to be able to make up with your speed. Deion Sanders wasn't able to freaking press anybody ever in his life. He just ran next to him and caught up to him and intercepted the ball. You know what I mean? Wayne's is so fast that he's able to... Wayne's has got interceptions on that, too, against Aaron Rodgers.
I know he has, but...
Where he's tried to press at the line, the guy got around him, he made up the speed and caught the interception.
But
you can't do it with
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
I mean, the fastest player in the NFL.
But
probably.
That's not him making that decision. That's the defensive coordinator.
Who? Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, that's exactly who it is. I mean, there's calls like you're not gonna. Maybe he does have a thing where we don't know. We're not in the locker room. Maybe Wayne's is allowed to do whatever he wants to do. Maybe Wayne's went up to Zimmer and said, I can press him. I'm just as fast as him. We don't know.
I bet
Maybe he did.
I bet you the cornerbacks on this defense have more say than you think.
I wouldn't give Xavier Rhodes any say.
Just a few years ago, we had, what's his name? Newman? He was just doing whatever he wanted back there, and nothing happened of it. Yeah. You know, I think cornerbacks have, a lot of say.
Weird, the offense can't do that shit.
Now, speaking of offense, Kirk Cousins, what do you think of him? And how his performance was?
It was fine. He didn't throw any interceptions. He threw 3 touchdowns.
And I agree with you, but I've been hearing a lot different.
What do they want him to do? You know what I mean?
What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
We've been hearing Kirk Cousins freaking people hating on him for just... The only reason why people hate Kirk Cousins is because he makes money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason they can ever come up with fucking $84 million.
Yeah.
How many times do we hear that shit when we're at the game? We're listening to Minnesota fans in Kansas City screaming fucking $84 million.
Probably 3 or 4 or 5 times throughout the game we heard that.
I go to a Wild game, I never hear anybody scream fucking $25 million about Dubnik.
Or fucking 13-year contracts.
Right. I go to the Twins game. I never hear... Well, they don't pay anybody. See how I set that up? But seriously, what is he supposed to do? He's on the road. It's loud as shit. Like, it's so loud. In the fourth quarter, the first half, I thought it was pretty quiet for how big that stadium is and how they kept on hyping up how it's the loudest stadium and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. The second half, they started screaming. It was loud in there. And you can't communicate as a quarterback when it's that loud. I'm watching Cousins get the play in late. He's screaming at the shitty-ass Bradbury to freaking snap it to him. The center and the guard, Bradbury and Elfline, can't block worth a shit, at all. Mm-hmm. What did they get, the worst PFF grade out of all starting linemen? They're terrible. They're terrible. The team is literally trying to hide the worst players on their team by running away from them. They can't run up the middle.
Yeah.
They have to run all sweeps.
Yeah.
We couldn't run the ball at all. The only thing we could do was throw, and he still didn't have any time. And we still could have won. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just... I wouldn't put the blame on Cousins, but I know everybody in Minnesota wants to because they're jealous of his money. So...
Shouldn't have went away from Treadwell in the second half.
That's another thing,
sorry he was dominating the first half. I don't know.
Andy Reid seems to just out coach Zimmer. You know what I mean? They had 2 guys on Diggs the whole time. Cousins had to throw it to random people we haven't seen from all year. I'm glad they threw it to Treadwell, but they had to throw it to Abdullah. They threw it to Johnson. They threw it to Irv. Yeah. And, by the way, another reason is that fucking screenplay they called
Well, that horseshit screen.
Who's throwing a back tight end screen when you need to score? Don't we need a field goal at that time? I can't remember exactly.
I think we were just trying to get a first down because we were up.
Is that what it was?
We were up, and I think we were kind of like trying to like use clock or
I was
whatever.
drinking,
So
I don't really remember that much.
I mean, wasn't it like a 2nd and 16
I mean,
or something like
10.
that? 2nd and 10. Oh, and then they lost 6.
7 yards.
Okay, yep, that's
And they had
it.
3rd and 17.
That was the worst call I've
It
seen
was
all
dumb.
year.
Yeah,
It was really dumb. There's what was the other thing that bothered me too? They ran on like 3rd and 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
it was
They
a
did
draw
run
play.
on 3rd and 13. Just kicking it back. Just give up play, kick it back to him.
Yeah.
Let the defense... Because that's Zimmer, dude. Let the defense win the game for us because that's the best part of the team.
Well, that's all he wants to do. He wants you to run clock,
Yep.
so his defense can sit on the sideline for
Yep.
a little while, and then let the defense win the game for you. That's what he wants.
But you have 250 million wrapped up into 3 guys on the offense?
I know
No,
Diggs
200,
and
200.
Thielen are getting paid a lot too, but
That's what I'm saying. Cousins,
Yeah.
Diggs, Thielen.
yeah.
Just those 3 right there. Let's run the ball, though.
Doesn't Stefanski seem like he's kind of like predictable? He passes a lot on first down to get nothing, to then run the ball on second down to get nothing, and we're constantly in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. It seems like he does that all the time.
I just think it's a hard game, and if we can block, we can win any game. Like if
Well-
we could block, we could win. We could beat any team in the NFL. That's how good the team is.
Yeah.
Having Cousins, Thielen, Diggs, and having the defense we do. I mean, the defense isn't going to stop everybody on every drive. It's just not going to happen. I know Zimmer thinks they might, but it's the new NFL. That all the rules are geared towards passing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You need to pass the ball. You need to. I mean, yeah, you need to run, but we need to run to set up the pass. And Delvin Cook is a great player. You gotta recognize early that you can't even run it in the A gap. They tried 3 times and they couldn't run it up the middle, and then they would do a play action to where the running back is running into the A gap. Those fucking players, the defense is like, yeah, right, you're not handing that shit off. We've stopped you 3 times. They didn't fall for it. Like Cousins played his butt off, if you think about it. But what do I know?
I mean, besides Cousins was 50%, I believe 19 of 38. Yeah, he's 50%. 220 yards, 3
With guys
touchdowns.
hitting his arm.
Yeah, I mean, he was constantly getting pressure. The one issue I have with the way Cousins played is that he slid early on that first down run. That's really the only one. And I remember looking at you guys like, what is going on?
I don't like how he overthrew. Was it Ham or somebody?
I mean, he did have a few overthrows, probably more than normal.
So everybody kind of focuses on that overthrow to Ham because he was so close to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he should have been able to throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
But it was 3rd and long, and the defender was right there. So even if you complete it, he's down right away. So I don't know if he tried to throw it out of bounds or if it was just a stupid throw. But I don't know. Fans don't see the full picture, and they kind of. It makes them look bad because they don't know. What if he was throwing it away? There's no reason to throw it to him because he's just going to get hit right away and he's going to be down in bounds. And the clock, weren't we down at the time? Wasn't it the first half? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things like
He he had 2 glaring overthrows, but how many overthrows did Penn State's quarterback have today? How many overthrows does Tom Brady sometimes have? These guys all have overthrows.
Yeah.
You can't be perfect on every play, but he makes $84 million, so we expect him to be
Well,
perfect.
yeah, then that's always going to be the go-to on Cousins. Unless he wins a Super Bowl, fans are going to constantly say he's not worth the money.
We should have kept Case Keenum. He doesn't get paid as much.
Well, I was thinking about it, like he's coming off winning NFC Offensive Player of the Month, and I guess that's an argument. Like I had that argument in my head too, but I don't know. On the other hand, I can kind of see where they're coming from about being frustrated though. Like the Vikings have to prove they can beat a decent team on the road. Like it just has to be done.
I think we'd have won if I think if they would have had Mahomes and we would have had Thielen, we'd have won. I do, because that's how much the defense would have changed. Like all they did was just stop Diggs, and we couldn't do anything because we couldn't run the ball. Literally. You got to run the ball. Because...
And is it just me, or is like Zimmer like a terrible adjustment, like offensive, adjusting?
I don't know. Well, it's not his job, I bet, at all to adjust anything on the offense. He just goes in there at halftime and starts screaming at the coaches about how they need to score.
Then
I guarantee that's what happened.
Then it's Stefanski and what's his face.
It has to be Stefanski and Kubiak.
Yeah,
and
Kubiak.
I think Stefanski is. Well, first off, if Stefanski makes a tight end screen call on 2nd and 10 when we need to
get a
first down, the head coach, Kubiak, whoever else in the booth needs this. They have radios. They can hear what they're calling. And everybody thought, oh, yeah, let's run that play. Everybody. Nobody stopped it. You know what I mean? Remember when Tice called that stupid-ass reverse pass from Randy Moss for an interception?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's his somebody else called it, and it's his job to stop it. You know what I mean? He let it happen. It's under his watch. It's a bad call. So, I don't know whose job it is on the offense, but I know it's the head coach's job to just stick his nose in it and say, I want this and I want that whenever they want to.
Zimmer's not doing that.
Then how can you how can you put blame on the offense? It's your team. That's your part of the team too. You're the head coach. You got to coach everything.
Yeah, but I think we've all kind of like talked about how he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Right.
I think we've all kind of talked about how we also kind of want him to keep his nose out of the offense too. So
yeah, but if I'm the head coach and I'm a defensive coordinator, and it's nut cutting time, and we need to get a first down, and it's 2nd and 10, and you call a freaking tight end screen, I'm jumping in. I'm saying something. You got to know.
Zimmer probably would have called a handoff.
A handoff would have been better. We wouldn't have lost 6 yards or whatever.
Handoff, A gap, run it there.
Right behind freaking Elfline. Let's run right behind. It would have worked better. We would have lost a yard instead of 6 yards. Or whatever it was.
I think any play would have been better than that one.
We run so many tight end screens that it's on film, and these teams are just waiting for it. They're just staying true to their gaps. They're staying gap sound. You know what I mean? They're not over pursuing. They're not giving up the backside a lot of the time.
I mean, what is that? Is that a product of constantly running 2 tight end sets?
We always run tight end screens, dude. I mean, we run it 4 times a game.
We rarely run 3 wide receiver sets. We're constantly in 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and a running back.
I think that's because we can't block.
It could be because they're both good blockers.
Yeah.
So are we running tight end screens because it keeps those guys close to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because
that's probably why.
Because I think, and I'm sure
do it too much.
I'm sure you guys think as well. Irv Smith is a big wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
We should be utilizing him more in the middle of the field, down the field. You know what I'm saying? He's fast enough to get up the seam. I think he's a good enough route runner to just find a space and just kind of sit there 10, 15 yards down the field.
Last game that could have worked, but a lot of time that's Thielen's the spot, isn't it? The slot.
But we don't run
3 wide receivers.
We don't run 3 wide receivers.
But if he comes back, you don't necessarily need to run 3 wide receivers either in order
to have somebody in the slot. He just lines up on the inside.
He can just line up at tight end. You really could just have him line up at tight end. If he moves it, so we used to call it in my football team. We used to call it split left, right? So you had 2 running backs in the backfield, 3 wide receivers, or 2 tight end. And then, so split left. How the fuck did that work?
This is great.
I know, it's compelling and rich, right?
Yeah.
So split left, the tight end would be on the left. Split right, the tight end would be on the right. Okay? But that was a receiver, though, usually. Even though they were on the tight end, they were a receiver. It's just a way to disguise the receiver. And then we would say split left Texas or split right Texas. And the T just stands for 3, and we just throw out Texas as a word. So that means that the tight end would then just go to slot. It's the same. You could run the same stuff and you can run the same routes. If the safety comes up, you're probably not throwing to him, but if the linebacker stays on him, that's all day, dude, to a tight end. I mean, it could work all day long. I'm not Kubiak. I don't know. They're so focused on running zone and back cutting with Delvin Cook right now, which is fine because we have a smaller line and you need him out moving in space. But when Kirk Cousins just has to step back and throw it, if they are in 3 wide, he doesn't have enough time because we don't have enough blockers, and that's kind of the problem. They just run right up the A gap. Run right over Elfline and run right over Bradbury. Or, if you're fast, you just run right around freaking Riley Reef, who's slow.
What's your opinion?
Reef's a good run blocker, by the way. Like, you can run at his side all day long. But him backing up with a speed rusher...
Well, that's offensive line in the NFL, aren't they? They're just typically better at run blocking than they are pass blocking?
You'd think so. Not last game. For some reason, it didn't work last game. Like, they just couldn't block running. They tried the outside zone. They tried the inside zone, and nothing worked. Like, they couldn't run the ball at all. So, now down Thielen, now you're relying on literally just Diggs and then whoever else. Mm-hmm. So, that's why Kirk Cousins had a better game, in my opinion, than a lot of people think. Because he was literally the only person out there that could do anything with the ball.
I want to talk about...
Except for Treadwell.
That's well. Speaking of Treadwell, I want to talk about Treadwell. I don't know if you noticed, but
I never knew that. No,
TJ looked like he was having the most fun at that game. Like it was like all of a sudden he's like, "See, I told you guys, this guy can be a weapon. Now you're using him," and then he just looked like he was having fun. So I mean,
did you hear all the shitty comments behind us? Every time Treadwell did something.
That must have been my own world or something.
Dude, it was bad, man. It was just...
It's lazy.
It was so passive-aggressive. Like, can you just drove...
I see it on Twitter every day. So.
You just drove 6 hours to watch this game.
No.
Be happy your player just had some success. But no, we're going to...
That's the thing that gets me the most about Treadwell is, like, when he fucks up, people talk shit and, like, okay, like, that's how it goes.
In droves.
Yeah, but and it's like it's fine. I understand that's how it goes. It's professional sports, like it's not a charity. But when the guy goes out there and catches 3 for 58 in the first half, and makes 2 third and long catches to get you like your first touchdown, that I'm not gonna say it kept you in the game, but they had to have a score there. Like if you go down 2 touchdowns, like you're in trouble on the road. And like people are still gonna crack fucking jokes and shit after that. It's like. Crack your jokes, but when you play as well, like say he plays well, and everybody's so scared. Like they've said he sucked in the past, and they want to like cling to their jokes and their opinions, and it's like, man, like he's playing well. It's okay to say he's playing well. Like it's I don't know. It's just my opinion, but
it's hard to have an opinion all by yourself, though. So they're just gonna regurgitate what they hear on K-Fan.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I talking about like comments and stuff like that, I did hear a few times where like he'd make a catch and someone would be like, well, I'm surprised he caught that. He drops every other one, or I'm surprised he ran the right route or something like that. Just little jabs at him, but then you'd kind of hear, well, that was a good play. But it's kind of always kind of a backhanded, it was good, but
my thing with Treadwell though is like it's kind of like the circumstance he's in wasn't the greatest. Like he gets drafted in the first round. Zimmer is a defensive head coach. Kind of wants to run the ball and play defense. Mm-hmm. He's got Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen in front of him. He gets 3 targets as a first round pick wide receiver in his rookie season. Like that's basically unheard of.
Yeah. Like
3 targets for a whole year. So he's already kind of behind the 8 ball just based off of circumstance. And then they give him an opportunity where they want to rely on him, and he doesn't come through right away. And like he's not the first receiver to ever drop a few balls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like especially young receivers, mm-hmm. like especially in a first round pick, like if you're gonna go through a growing pain like that, you gotta give him a chance to bounce back. And like he kind of was buried, and I don't even like. It's hard to blame the team for going away from him because like if everybody surrounding him is like hating him, and like we're saying how many jokes are getting cracked about him, like it's hard for a coach to like constantly try to like put him in there and put him in spots to be successful. Because if it doesn't go well, you look like a jackass. Because everything's so scrutinized now, But I just think, like, if you invest that into a receiver, you kind of owe it to him to let him go through those growing pains and come out the other side. And I feel like he's doing that now. Like, it took getting cut and coming back. But this year, anything he's been asked to do, he's done it. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, like, what's it going to take for him to get in the good graces of fans? I feel like it's going to take, like, a 3-touchdown game against the 85 Bears, and, like, that's not going to be presented. That opportunity is not going to be presented to him. So where do we go from here where he can be a good player that can contribute to the team and people are happy with what he does,
That kind of goes back to Minnesota fans being jaded and unrealistic with their expectations. You know what I mean? Like, he's a first-round draft pick, so he should have 70 catches for 8 touchdowns in his first season, no matter what. Because somebody else has done that in the past, named Randy Moss, who actually had twice that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we were spoiled with Chris Carter and Randy Moss. And we drafted Randy Moss, and his success was insane, Now that's the standard. They think that's the standard. That's not the standard. That's a Hall of Fame player.
Well, that's a weird thing to me is, like, I don't think people analyze the situation like players go to. Like, people look at Treadwell and they're like, oh, man, we took him before Michael Thomas. And, yeah, would I rather have Michael Thomas is very talented. Yep. He's a great player. But he went to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Their coach is an offensive genius. They had no other receivers when he got there. Mm-hmm. He hit the lottery for where a receiver can go. Yeah, is he good? He's very good. But when you're putting those two players, comparing them side to side, their circumstances couldn't be any more different. And you can't compare them like it's apples to apples. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I don't know. Like, it was fun for me. Like Pat was saying, it was fun for me. Like, I've tweeted about how I think Treadwell can be a good player, and I've gotten laughed at. And whatever. I just took it like, it's just fine.
This preseason. Yeah. We've been saying since preseason that he is better than freaking Chad Beebe. Mm-hmm. Where is Chad Beebe now?
If you want to laugh at me, it's fine. But when he has a good game, like, that's all I would ask in return. Like, laugh at me if you want. But when he performs well, just give him his credit. I didn't see anybody give him his credit. It's all like little backhand jokes and like, sarcastic, and everybody's calling for Josh Doxson. Like, what has he done? He hasn't done shit.
I mean, there's a reason why he's on his second team when he was.
More people want to be right about Treadwell sucking than they care about actually like him being a productive player on the team. Like, seeing what they could get out of him, see if he can help the offense, which he did on Sunday. Yep. That's my whole point.
He pissed me off a couple weeks ago when he missed his freaking lazy-ass block. That pissed me off. I was literally so livid, dude. I was ready to lose my mind. It looked like he didn't even try. But what is he supposed to do? He never gets the ball. He never gets to have any meaningful contribution to the team ever. Right. Besides, you go block him.
Well, yeah.
And if you don't go block him, then you suck.
If he comes into the game, it's basically running play 85% of the time. I mean, did you know he only played 19 snaps? Mm-hmm. I mean, that for a guy that was actually having a little success, especially in the first half, having some success, and he still only played 19 snaps. I don't know.
How many times did Cousins throw?
He was 19 of 38. But from what I hear,
like 40. There was probably 50 plays on offense then, and he had 19 of them.
Yeah, and I think Olabisi Johnson played 52 snaps or something like that.
That's the Vikings offense, though. They don't really use a third receiver.
That's crazy.
Even when it's working.
So what? Any other?
That's why I said, why did they go away from him in the second half? Like, if that was something that you could exploit, why wouldn't you make that adjustment? You know what I'm saying?
And nobody covered him because they never throw to him.
No, I mean they just called offensive.
Well, actually, he
pass
caught one though that was in coverage for a first down. That was a really good route.
I think
really
he had
catch.
2 pretty good catches in the one. You know, he was wide open on that one, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember right, I think he had 2 pretty good catches. One for sure.
Treadwell's not the receiver that you need to lead so far so that way it's not picked off. He's the receiver that you need to make sure he can get his hands on the ball because he's going to win. Like, his catching radius and his hands.
On that first drive, we were talking about it, he was double covered. But he had a step. Like, if you put it on his hands, I bet he would have.
Yeah, he would have caught that if he put it on his hands. Didn't it? That was an overthrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did 5 people behind us say when he overthrew it? Slow ass Treadwell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, Cousins overthrows Thielen and Diggs all the time.
He did on Sunday. He had Diggs for a touchdown when he overthrew him.
But we're gonna say Treadwell's slow.
I don't know.
And
he's
slower. Yeah. But
all your receivers don't need to run a 4-3.
Right.
You can utilize them differently.
Michael Irvin never ran a 4-3.
Chris Carter never ran a 4-3.
Jerry Rice never ran a 4-3. We just named like top 10 Hall of Fame receivers.
Comparing Treadwell to...
Well, Terrell Owens, how many balls did he drop early in his career?
But and what I think is maybe what needs to happen with Treadwell...
Not comparing him to any of these
Yeah,
guys.
okay, not comparing him to that. But you remember that touchdown grab that Terrell Owens had with San Francisco to win the game.
Yep.
And after that point, his career took off.
Yeah.
Maybe Treadwell needs something like that.
He just needs to be put in the damn game. And
Yeah.
somebody needs to throw it to him.
I mean, you got.
I just worry about his career though, because like I look at how this is going, and like on Sunday he had a good game, and no one says anything. He's probably gonna be in a position like I don't know. He's probably not gonna play a ton of snaps, but they might have to use him on Sunday. If he has one drop, people are gonna fucking want to set him on fire. If he has 3 for 60 again, no one's gonna say shit. Like that's the thing. Like I just said it. Like I don't want to repeat myself, but how is he supposed to ingratiate himself with the fans now? I don't understand how. He's going to have to score 4 touchdowns in a game? That's like the only way people are going to get off his back.
Me personally, I think it needs to be 5. Yeah. I'm not going to...
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, what's he ever going to be able to do to get people off his back now? Like, and I feel like he can be utilized in this offense. A big physical receiver, like, they don't have it. I'm not saying he needs 10 targets a game, but... You could throw it to him in the end zone a couple times, and
we've never seen him throw a fade to him ever.
He's only gotten one touchdown in his career, right?
Or a back shoulder on the sideline, like
never.
I don't know.
They'd rather throw it to a slant to Diggs for him to drop, and then nobody says nothing.
Well, they'd rather.
He has more equity.
I know.
They'd rather throw.
But he drops how many balls does he drop per game?
They'd rather throw slant routes to C.J. Ham.
Yeah, C.J. Ham at wideout. So good. Such a great idea.
You know, I don't mind that.
You know why they do that, right?
Well, they're just trying to, get the defense spread out, right?
So it depends on how spread out the defense is. They put them way out at wideout, and if the defense actually is, don't they usually do it in an empty set? So, like, there's 5 wide.
Then do they adjust into something else?
They wait to see if the defense adjusts to the 5 wide, and if they do, then the play's still on and they just pass it.
Yeah.
If they don't, they bring him back in to just block. That's all they're doing. They should never throw to him. They're just trying to see what the defense is going to do. And the defense knows you're never fucking throwing to him.
That's why it's
pointless.
But we do throw to him, which never gets completed.
It never works. It's almost like the defense dares you to throw at him. Throw to him. You know what I mean? That's the last place you want to throw to C.J. Ham is outside the hash marks. Yeah. I mean, I could see it up the middle of the field after he chips somebody and he comes over the middle and you get a couple quick 7 and he runs over a couple guys. He's not going to fucking make no plays outside the hash marks. You want to talk about speed? Put Treadwell out there. I guarantee you he's faster than fucking C.J. Ham. He is, right? He has to be.
I mean, but Treadwell probably wouldn't be. Because I'm guessing they line up Ham wide, a linebacker's following him. Mm-hmm. If Treadwell's out there and they line him up wide, they're not going to have a linebacker out there.
Who's to say, so, and I know I'm crazy, but what if you just replaced Ham with Treadwell altogether, have him move out there, and if they don't show that they're going to cover him, bring him into block. He's a good blocker. Shit, bring him into the fucking backfield.
I mean, we're like one of the only teams in the NFL that actually uses a fullback.
Well, that's because our line sucks.
Well, yeah, we most of our route running is only 2 guys going out for passes.
They do an over route and under route. Play action, over route, under route. Play action, over route, under route. Play action, over route, deep. Play action, over route, under route. That's all it is. And then they run zone back and forth. What are you watching?
I don't know. Like he doesn't look slow. He's not fast, but he doesn't look slow.
He left him.
Yeah.
I think people's opinions are later. Treadwell highlights.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send it to me so I can put it in the video.
I will.
TJ's on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, send it to me and then we can show exact. I don't have the
I was
illustrator,
having fun though, for sure.
Yeah, it was a tight game.
Yeah, the atmosphere was fun. I have been telling people all week that I think it was 40% Viking fans.
I would say 20,000. There was a lot there, but there was still a lot of red.
The whole sideline, like the lower level on the Viking side, was all Vikings fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a lot of Vikings fans there.
Well, what's 40% of 70,000?
30%.
Yeah, 35.
This is great. This
30,000.
This is awesome.
I said 20,000. You say 30,000. 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. There's tons of purple there. Yeah, so that's all that matters. Yeah, we don't need to sit here and do math. Nah, man, that's 31. You wrong.
Someone's gonna listen to this like they can't even do simple math.
They probably need a calculator to figure out their equations. What a bunch of losers.
Should have broke out your phone, nerd.
So, any predictions for the game coming up here on tomorrow? Which this video isn't going to be out in time by.
Well, it won't. But I mean, this is being recorded on Saturday night.
Well, I said it to you guys earlier, and like I was saying about the Chiefs game, I feel a little bit better because the game's on turf. Like what I referenced earlier about playing on grass, and that kind of slight edge that it takes from you. I feel like that's going to be taken away. So I feel like the Vikings will feel more at home on that surface. But I don't know. Linval's out, so that kind of has me like a little worried going up against Elliott.
Yeah, it's going to definitely open up the middle for Elliott to get.
I kind of felt like it was a pick 'em a little bit. I don't know before that, so I don't know. That's kind of got me a little bit.
What is the line on the game?
I want to say Cowboys by 3.
Is it?
I feel like I heard that. I'm not 100% sure, but
the position.
So it's basically even if you give them the home field 3 points that they talk about.
The position Linval plays though isn't hard to replace.
Yeah, that's true.
You just got to get another huge guy who can stay gap sound and beat up his guy and take a double team and. That, like, if you notice, Linval doesn't get too many tackles or sacks. He just takes up blockers.
Is that he's not as big as Jerry Ball was, but that wasn't that kind of what Jerry Ball was.
Yeah.
But it also kind of helped that he had Kevin Williams sitting right next to him too. Mm-hmm. So
it's an important.
Jerry Ball had Kevin Williams sitting next to him.
No, who was the Pat Williams? That's who I was thinking of, not
what,
Jerry
dude?
Ball.
I was like, oh, we talking about '98 Vikings now? Cool shit.
Yeah, no, I was thinking
Jerry Ball. Yeah,
Pat
Jerry
Williams.
Ball. Let's talk about Jerry Ball. That's back in the day.
My bad. Talk about Barry Word.
Once you brought up Kevin Williams, I'm like, oh, that's the next era.
This is a different guy.
But that's exactly what Pat Williams was. You're right.
Yeah, that's who.
It's an important position, though.
It is. I gotta imagine though they have another 350-pound dude who eats a lot of steak laying in there somewhere. Probably getting an ice bath right now, getting ready. Who's the backup for Linval? I don't know
Shamar
names.
Stephen, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, that's the heart. That like in terms of heart and gas tank and everything, and getting beat up. That position and running back are tough, dude. Like you're getting hit by 2-3 people on every play. It's a tough position to play. So, what else about the Vikings, Pat? You're wearing a Viking hat, I noticed. I figured you'd have a huge opinion here.
I'm just representing my squad. It's all Vikings all day, every day.
I think they're going to win by 13.
Yeah, you said 13 earlier today.
Yeah.
You really
Kirk
think
Cousins doesn't lose 2 in a row. And I know that Dak Prescott is one of our buddies, Chris's favorite quarterbacks in the league. So, and I don't want him to do bad, just for his sake. But I think Dak's going to get overwhelmed by our defense.
Well, TJ's probably starting him this week. Nope. Good call.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't want to offend Chris, but I just don't think Dak's good enough to beat the Vikings this week. And I think Kirk Cousins is going to outplay him, and he doesn't lose 2 in a row. And we're on turf, like TJ said. Maybe we can utilize Irv a little more in the slot. Be a good adjustment since we can't run the ball.
Amari Cooper sounds like he's a little hobbled.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's going to play.
Questionable. He's been questionable kind of every game this year.
He's a really good receiver, but he doesn't quite pose the same kind of threat that Tyreek Hill does. So I don't think our secondary is going to be quite as tested.
They
shouldn't be overwhelmed by the speed.
Right.
Do you think we can get our fans to donate like $5 a piece so we can all go in together on a Dak Prescott jersey for Chris for Christmas? Because he'd like that, I think.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, though, Tyreek Hill kind of wrecked that game on his own. Thinking back on it.
Oh, even Kansas City?
Yeah.
We're moving back?
No, just in, previewing against the Cowboys and, what went wrong against Kansas City. They don't have...
He's a good player.
Yeah, they don't have a Tyreek Hill. So
Didn't he catch a ball in double coverage, too? That was a deep ball.
Jerry Jones thinks Tavon Austin's that player.
I'm going to disagree with him then.
I honestly think all the success runs through Zeke Elliott. And I know a lot of people kind of have that same opinion, but it is kind of true. When he gets 100 yards, they win. So obviously you got to stop the run, and it's going to be a little tougher with Linval out clogging that middle. You just got to tackle the guy. You really just got to tackle the guy.
It's going to be an Eric Kendricks game.
Yeah.
Eric Kendricks can tackle him.
Yeah, Kendricks can tackle.
Yeah. He's not as fast, though, but when he gets his hands on you, you're going down.
Wish he would have
got Barr's fast, but sometimes he's pretty soft on contact, so...
I'd like to see a little more blitzing.
Good luck, man.
Zimmer doesn't... He's never really
He's
been a
bend
blitzer,
but don't
right?
break face, dude. That's his whole thing, is bend but don't break. It's like PJ Fleck said today, if you want elite defense, you don't do bend but don't break. You do get off the field and don't let them get anything. That's what he said after the game. We don't do bend but don't break. It just kind of looked like it, but we're preaching get off the field. We don't. There's no bending. There's no breaking. That's how it works. You stop them. Zimmer likes to think he's the smartest guy in the room. Let him go all the way down the field and hold him to a field goal because we're supposed to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
We've kind of gotten away from getting turnover. When we went to the NFC Championship game, we got turnovers that year as a defense. Mm-hmm. We were ball hawking left and right. We don't get turnovers anymore.
Yeah, no, we don't.
I mean, we do in general, but it's not like our defense is top 5 like it was, and we're getting turnovers and everything like that.
Yeah.
We really do have to rely on our offense to score. But Kirk Cousins sucks, so I guess we're not winning, right?
I mean, I think it's going to be tough for the offense to move the ball without Thielen because I think he's already listed as out. Somebody else is going to have to step up, whether it's Treadwell, whether it's BC.
Is his name BC or Olabisi?
Olabisi.
Yeah, everybody.
Why do people call him BC?
Nickname.
Okay.
Same reason why everybody calls you Jay.
Olabisi Treadwell. Just got to get him involved.
Or they call me Pat. Same thing.
Honestly, I'd like to see Irv get more too.
Yeah, he should be a bigger. He should be have a bigger role in this offense.
I know I'm thinking outside the box here, but I'm actually not. I'm being sarcastic. If your wide receiver is getting double teamed like he's going to be Diggs on the outside, Irv should be able to own the inside of the hash marks all game long.
Yeah.
Because that safety's going to be gone. If they go with a single high safety, you still have Irv go up the middle of the field, and that safety has to take him, and then you can get other receivers involved, and then you can throw screen passes, and then you can do whatever you need to do. It sounds simple, but it's like the Gophers today. You know how simple their offense was? Inside zone, outside zone, slants. Inside zone, outside zone, a little double move. Inside zone, outside zone, over route. You know what I mean? Like, they overthink shit, dude. I'm telling you, the Vikings overthink shit. Their analytic department is like 40 people deep. They're radioing over to freaking Stefanski, like, our analytics say you should run a draw here on 3rd and 5 because their defense plays it this way. They're like, okay, let's do that. Run a draw, 3-yard gain, punt.
Is football that much of an analytical sport?
No, it's not. They think it is. Like the nerds do.
Yeah, it's because nerds are always trying to get themselves involved in everything.
Yeah, it's not. Because you have to. Every game is different. Every player is playing different that day. Football is about leveraging matchups.
Stick with baseball, nerds.
Right. Yeah, football, you have to leverage matchups. You have to. If Elfline can figure out how to block his guy, for example, this week.
Good luck.
Well, if he does, and Bradbury is, then you use that. You hit that hole. You know what I mean? You don't run outside zone and have Riley Reef not be fast enough to get to the outside and get your running back killed. It's just simple stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's... They like to overthink it. But then they say, you don't know. You know what I mean? You're not here. You're not in the locker room. You don't know what we looked at in film.
I mean, that's what I think that's what they all say. I mean, there's so many times where, like Baker Mayfield just this last week. I mean, he basically told the reporter, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't play football. You're a reporter." You know, it was kind of in a roundabout way. That's what he was saying, and then he got up and left. I mean, I think that's
he's
just
a bitch.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I used to be a fan.
Yeah.
And then now, like, here's the thing, too, is he's still a kid, and he doesn't know he's a kid. And the NFL has pumped him up in all these commercials and shit. So this dude's head is, like, he is full of himself to no end. Yeah. Any I guess, hardships he faces on the field, it's not his fault. He's on a commercial. He don't care.
It sucks you got Odell Beckham to throw the ball to.
Right.
God, that sucks.
Well, you don't understand. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't see the defense. You're not there.
You didn't watch the film.
And sometimes he's right. Right? It's like, sometimes he's right. Fans say about Kirk Cousins, he sucks. He gets paid too much. Blah, 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 blah. Well, they don't realize that he's the most pressured quarterback in the history of football. You know? Like, that makes a difference. If people are around your feet, you can't step into your throws. If your line's not blocking, all that shit factors in. But then again, these guys have 400 and something plays in the playbook. In like 20 different formations, right? But they're all pretty much the same plays out of different formations, and it's all pretty close to the same language, except they have different names for the different formations, different sets and stuff, right? Like Chucky, he wants to make his X banana 2Y 4 out 3 over 9 slant. Why? You know what I mean? Like, there should be you all you need is 10 routes in the route tree, and you can just call it a number. That's all you gotta do. And you can look at what the defense is playing, and you can have your quarterback adjust to whatever they're doing.
I thought that was funny, though. They won on Thursday night, and I think it was Derek Carr after the game. He tweeted a spider emoji, Y2, and a banana emoji. Made me laugh. I was like, that's good.
What is that?
Isn't that Gruden's play? Spider Y2 banana or something like
that? Y2 banana. But so, I don't know what it means, okay? I don't know what spider is. That's the formation usually. Okay? 2... I don't know what 2 is. Is it the running back? Is that the 2?
The Y receiver runs a 2 route.
Well, so Spider 2, Y, banana. So Y is the receiver, banana's the route. Why the fuck you calling a route banana?
You gotta throw off the defense.
Because he runs like this.
Why is there a banana route?
It's the same reason why TJ used to say I'm running the chair.
The chair is a good route. That's the real name for it, dude. But I don't know about the Spider 2, and the 2 could be the running back. The 2 could be the hole it's going into.
TJ would look and go like this, like nobody knows what he's talking about.
That's where teams go. Chicago.
60% of the time, it worked every time.
It's the analytics said so.
It won't be completed if you don't throw it. They use these like Chicago. Like if I was saying chair, right? TJ's throwing a prip.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You just say like Chicago or Cabana, something like that. Carabiner.
Spider Y2 chair.
Spider Y2.
They know what a chair route is usually, the defense, don't they?
I hope so. Shit, we were running it on Sundays. After the Vikings game. I miss those days. I don't even think I could go out and play right now.
Yeah, Ben's like, let's go play football this weekend. I'm like, fuck no.
40 years old, bro.
Right, like what are you talking about?
Leaving my couch.
So anything in closing on the Vikings?
It'd be nice to get a win.
Final score
That shit's
prediction.
already good.
Jason says 13. So what do you
I
think?
said we're going to win by 13 points.
Yeah. So I'm saying you think it's like
33-20. Because they're going to score. They're at home.
I had to make sure the math was right there.
Did you want to pull out your calculator?
It's pretty simple math. Jason says blowout.
That's not a blowout, is it?
Man, that's
A little bit.
that's a 2-score game.
They should fucking score that much. Kirk Cousins get paid $84 million.
You sound like everybody that we were sitting by.
I'm going to go 24-23 Vikings.
With a game-winning 2-point conversion at the end because you're on the road and you have to do it.
Dan Bailey's 75-yard kick. He's going to win it.
You can't make a 7.5-yard kick.
Can't make an extra point.
I'm going to say a CJ Ham slant 2-point conversion. With no time left.
I'm going to say Dan Bailey fade route.
I'm gonna say Kyle Rudolph reverse.
I don't want to like sound like a homer. So I'm
Gonna sound like a homer.
no.
You going to pick the Cowboys?
Yeah. I don't want to.
So hold up. Last week we're going to Kansas City, and I'm telling everybody we need to bet money on Kansas City because if we win, then we win money, and we don't have to worry about this Vikings losing. And nobody listened to me. But now you're gonna say that they're gonna lose 2 in a row?
It wouldn't have mattered. We would have lost money based on TJ's Timberwolves bet.
I called the Ravens, though.
We single-handedly ruined the Colts season.
No, I don't want to, and I'm going to definitely be cheering for the Vikings. But I guess until they can win a primetime game for the nation to see.
Man, fuck this dude. Knock his microphone down, dude.
Get out of here.
Man, this podcast is done,
You're
dude.
kicked
It's
out.
over.
You're kicked out. I'm guessing like a 27-23 game or something like that. Is going to be
Could go
my
either
guess.
way. It's kind of how I feel, too, but...
I think either way, it's going to be a 1-score game. You know, it might just come down to the team that has the ball last.
It's going to be a 2-score game.
We shall see.
Yeah.